everybody, Kyle Goethe here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews channel on YouTube, which you're right now. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to another unboxing video, and today we're going to be looking at something brand spanking new. To be honest, I've been trying to figure out how to watch this new set that I've got, this new item, because it's a lot. There's a lot to this, and I actually was on the fence about buying this for a long time, and finally just bit the bullet. I had some extra cash on me one week and was like, let's get this. So about 5 days before this came out, I pre-ordered it, and it arrived a few days after that, which was surprising because it actually had kind of sold out in a lot of places. Anyway, this is from Severin Films, which some of you might already know what it is based on that, but this is the collection All the Haunts Be Ours, a compendium of folk horror. So the plastic wrap's really tough. We're going to break open that plastic wrap and take a closer look at this collection. I don't have a lot of knowledge on folk horror. I don't watch a lot of those movies, but the documentary Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, which is included in this set, as well as 19 movies, I think. A lot of movies, a lot of short films, a lot of stuff to unpack in this set. It's very exciting. Join me today. We'll take a closer look as we open up All the Haunts Be Ours, a compendium of folk horror. Stay with us. Okay, so there we have All the Haunts Be Ours, a compendium of folk horror. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened. Listen to the sweet sound of tearing plastic as we open up this copy. There's that. Okay. So just looking on the outside of the film box set, before we get too far into this thing, here's our box, and it looks like a book here as well. Hail Behemoth, spirit of the dark, rise now from the forest, from the furrows, from the fields, and live. 12 Blu-rays, 3 CDs, 20 feature films, and 15 hours of bonus features, and more. The most comprehensive collection of its kind, with the definitive genre documentary of our time, Kier Lajanice's award-winning Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched. From their experience, 19 of the best-known, least-known, rarely seen, and thought-lost classics of folk horror from around the world, all restored from the best available vault elements. And we got special features including short films, audio commentaries, and exclusive featurettes, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So we're going to cover those as we go through it here. Let's go ahead and open up that. We'll set this aside for now, and we'll just take a look at the box as is here. This is my first time seeing this with you. So, all right, All the Haunts Be Ours. Let's open up the box. Okay, so disc 1 is it's in book form. It's a digibook, I think they call it. Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched: A History of Folk Horror. This also has animating folk horror, some outtakes, and a video introduction by the writer, director, producer. So let's take a look at that. Digibook stuff interests me, but I also have a really shoddy looking copy of the Alfred Hitchcock Set that was a digibook. It was damaged in shipping, and the discs fall out of it all the time. So there's the disc for it. Got that folk horror woods look to it. Again, this is Severin Films. What's funny is when people ask me if I have any other Severin Films movies, I always think about the movie Birdemic. I know that I have that on Severin Films, but that's about it. All right, so disc 2, Eyes of Fire. Eyes of Fire has an audio commentary with Colin Dickey, author of Ghostland and American History and Haunted Places. It also has The Secret in the Trees. The Nightmare USA author interviews writer-director Avery Crounce. Crying Blue Sky, an alternate longer cut with trailers and short films like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and a short film for Transformations, the short film for Backwoods. So it says 2 different cuts and 3 short films as well. Eyes of Fire. Okay. Disc 3, Leptirica. I'm learning about all these films one at a time here. So this film comes with Radical Fairy Tales, the interview with director Đorđe Kađerević. I'm going to say these things wrong. It has a short film, Stichnik, Diary of an Inmate, with interview with the actor Milan Mihalovic. It also has the short film Devikanska Svirka, Prisoner of Song, an interview with the actor from that film as well. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to check this disc. This disc looks like the outside again. I'm just going to kind of... Okay, yeah. So the discs are kind of similar to out here. I'm just going to keep showing us the pages that we're looking through here. So disc 4 has 2 films on it. One is Warhammer. Audio commentary with the Czech film historian and curator. The Womb of Woman is the Gateway to Hell, an appreciation by essayist and critic Kat Ellinger and film historian Michael Brook. The Projection Booth podcast, The Witchhammer episode with most Mike White and guest critics Sam Deegan and Rami Alexander. We also have I think it's VIY, with special features From the Woods to the Cosmos, John Lehman Riley on the history of Soviet fantasy and sci-fi film. It's got a trailer. It's got a silent short film called Satan Exultant, a silent short film called The Queen of Spades, and a silent short film for The Portrait. It's disc 4 right there. So yeah, you're going to get doubled up on a few of these because there's 12 Blu-rays and there's 20 films. Disc 5, Lake of the Dead. And that has just an audio commentary with film historian Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons. We also have on disc 5 Tilbury, with an audio commentary from director Vidar Vikingsson and screenwriter Porin Eljarn, moderated by film scholar Gudrun D. Whitehead. With enough Tilbury butter, anything is good. An interview with Carl August Olofsson. A Boy from the Country, interview with Christian Franklin Magnus. White Spot in the Back of the Head. And The Moon Fades, Death Rides. That's Tilbury. Okay. On disc 6, we get the film The Dreaming. Let's look at the book right there. Okay. The Dreaming, with audio commentary with director Mario Andreako, moderated by film historian Jarrett Gahan, and a trailer. We also get Kadecha, which has an audio commentary with director James Bogle, moderated by veteran film journalist Michael Helms. That is the Fatal Visions. We also get The Final Girl of Kadecha, audio interview with actress Zoe Carides, conducted by film historian Jarrett Gahan. Composing Kadecha, audio interview with composer Peter Westheimer, conducted by film historian Jarrett Gahan, and behind the scenes of Kadecha, as well as a trailer for that film. That's disc 6. Disc 7 has the movie, let's see what the books look like there. Okay. We have the movie Celia. Celia and Me is a special feature on there. Interview with director Ann Turner. From Crawfords to Celia, interview with veteran editor Ken Salos and The Rabbit in Australia, which I don't know what that is. And then we also get on disc 7, Allison's Birthday, which has an extended interview from Not Quite Hollywood with producer David Hannay and cast members Johann Samuel and Belinda Giblin, as well as The Devil Down Under, Satanic Panic in Australia, from Rosalie Norton to Allison's Birthday. So on disc 8, we get, nice little book there, we get Wilczeka, I'm probably wrong on that, Unleashing the She-Wolf, interview with director Mark Pistrak. We also get Loki's, a manuscript of Professor Wittenbach, which comes with a special feature, Wild Country of the Werebear, interview with director Janusz Marjewski. Marjeski, maybe. I don't know. We're learning this. That's disc 8. Over on disc... Oh, we passed one. We're going back to it. Over on disc 9, we have the movie Clear Cut, which has a lot of special features on there. It's got archival video introduction by director Ryszard Bugarski, audio commentary with scholar and anthropologist Shawano Chad Urin. Can't be Urin, right? Archival audio interview with director and the journalist Alan McInnes. A Dream Like Arthur's, an audio interview with actor Graham Greene. That's Graham Greene. I really liked him in The Green Mile. Composing Clear Cut. Also comes with a short film called The Ballad of Crowfoot. Audio commentary for The Ballad of Crowfoot. And it comes with a short film, You Are on Indian Land, and the short film Consume. Like I said, there's a lot of short films. That's one of the main reasons I decided to get the set. Over here, we have Disc 10. One of the films on here is Il Demonia, which has an audio commentary with film historian Kat Ellinger, The Kid from a Kibbutz, and Once Upon a Time in Basilicata. We also have Dark Waters, which has an audio commentary with Mariano Beno and the special feature Deep into the Dark Waters. Okay, Disc 11. It's got 2 films on here. One is called A Field in England. It's with director Ben Wheatley. I know Ben Wheatley. Producer Andy Stark and sound editor Martin Pavey. We also get Letterboxd Magic Hour, Episode 1. Please Hear Me, The Music of a Field in England. Ben Wheatley in conversation with Peter Toombs, camera tests, and some trailers. We also get Anchoress, which includes Lockdown 1329 and a short trip to Sheer. On here as well, we also get Disc 12. Look at that, Disc 12. With Pendus Fen, which has an audio commentary by James Mackin and Matthew Harle, editors of the Book of Mud and Flame, the Pendus Fen Sourcebook, The Landscape of Feelings, The Road to Pendus Fen, and a short film, The Pledge. We also get over here, we get Robin Redbreast on Disc 12. That has an audio commentary with William Fowler and Vic Pratt, curators and authors of The Bodies Beneath, has the flip side of British film and television, and a short film called The Sermon. Okay. Disc 13 is Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, the original soundtrack. So that's just a CD that comes with right there. I knew there was other stuff on here as well. There's more discs that aren't movies. Disc 14 is The White People, written by Arthur Machen, read by Linda Hayden. This is an audio CD with that. And then we also have on Disc 16, The White People Part 2. So that's there. That is the last disc in this box. It's a pretty cool set, pretty neat looking. Let's pull out this book and take a look at that. So in here, Severin Films presents All the Haunts Be Ours, edited by our director from our Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched. Let's see here. Okay. So this has a ton of discussions. It's not specific about each film, but there's a lot of info here kept on folk horror. Let's see if we have... Okay. Oh, and great. We have some stuff in here about the film. So if you're looking for synopses, I'll give you kind of a quicker one here. All right. Allison's Birthday, getting its first official release since the VHS era, this Australian paranormal cult is unearthed. During a Ouija board session with her teenage friend, 16-year-old Allison, gets a message from beyond the grave not to go home for her 19th birthday. Flash forward 3 years later, she's summoned to birthday celebrations with her aunt and uncle in Sydney and visits them with her boyfriend and becomes increasingly suspicious of the overprotective circle surrounding Allison. On here we also have Anchoress, which is 108 minutes, black and white from 1993. So, based in part on the true story of Christine Carpenter, the Anchoress of Sheer, the film spins the tale of a 14th century peasant who becomes transfixed by a statue of the Virgin Mary and petitions to be walled into a cell attached to the church as a religious hermit. We have the movie Celia from 1989, 103 minutes, English, in color. In 1950s rural Australia, 9-year-old Celia hears the disturbing fairy tale of the Hobias in school. The story creeps into her mind and allows her imagination to take over as she faces real-life personal and cultural conflicts, such as her parents' struggling relationship, the potential threat of communism, and Australia's plague of rabbits. Interesting. Clear Cut from 1991. This is 98 minutes in English and color. A white lawyer arrives to a remote area in northern Ontario to defend Indigenous activists who are blocking a logging company's clear cut of old growth on their land. A pacifist by nature and perceiving himself as sympathetic to Indigenous concerns, he finds his values shaken when he is paired with an angry, rogue Indigenous man named Arthur, played by one of Canada's most towering and beloved actors, Graham Greene, who insists on kidnapping the head of the logging company to take him deep into the forest, where he hopes to teach him the price of his destruction. We also have Dark Waters here from 1993. This is 89 minutes in color, Italian with English subtitles. It has been compared to the works of Bergman, Bava, and Argento, and it remains one of the most spectacular and original horror films of the fin de millennium. Mariano Beno's groundbreaking debut stars Louise Salter from Interview with a Vampire as a young English woman drawn to an island in the Black Sea in an attempt to discover her mysterious connection to a remote convent. Okay. Il Demonio from Brunello Rondi from 1963, 100 minutes, Italian, black and white with optional English subtitles. The second film by frequent Fellini collaborator Brunello Rondi, Il Demonio is a stunning story of of obsessive love set in a rural southern Italian village where Christianity has been integrated with many of the old superstition beliefs. Dalia Lavi, best known to genre fans as a tortured protagonist in Mario Bava's The Whip in the Body, plays the film's central character, Purif, who is distraught when her lover, Frank Wolf, is betrothed to another. I'm not going to give you all the details here because I don't want to ruin the experience, but we'll talk about the couple lines here from each one. The Dreaming from Mario Andreako, 1988 Australian film with English, 90 minutes in color. Let's see. When a group of indigenous activists attempt to repatriate ancestral artifacts found in a cave on Australia's Kangaroo Island, one of them is shot, evading police, and taken to a local hospital. When the patient dies in her care, the doctor attending to her experiences strange visions relating to violent events from the past. The Dreaming. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Eyes of Fire. Look at that frickin' poster. Oh my god, yes. This is a USA film from Avery Crounce from 1983, 86 minutes in color English. The seminal American folk horror film, unavailable on home video for decades, now debuts in a new 4K restoration from Severin Films. Set in 1750 in the colonial area of what would eventually become America, an adulterous preacher is ejected from a small British colony with his motley crew of followers, who make their way downriver to establish a new settlement of their own beyond the western frontier. Protected by the mysterious powers of the mad witch Leah and feeling themselves guided by Providence, they traverse through Shawnee territory to a forest enchanted by strange spirits brought to life through incredible handmade optical effects, unaware of the heart of darkness they have wandered into. All right, so the one's called A Field in England from Ben Wheatley. All right, this is a 2012 film from the UK, 90 minutes, black and white. During the Civil War in 17th century England, a small group of deserters, headed by the League of Gentlemen's Reese Shearsmith, flee from a raging battle through an overgrown field. They are captured by an alchemist who forces the group to aid him in his search to find the hidden treasure that he believes is buried in the field. All right, Kadecha. I think I'm saying that right. I'm probably saying it wrong. It's an Australian film from 88 minutes, English color. One by one, the teens of Kangaloola High are visited by a skull-faced aboriginal apparition in their nightmares, and one by one they meet a violent end. In their dreams, a Kadecha stone is thrust into their hand, a stone which follows them into the waking world and condemns them to death for breaking tribal law. Ooh, that sounds pretty exciting. We also have on here Lake of the Dead, right there. This is a 1958 Norway film, Norwegian in language, black and white, 77 minutes. All right, considered a classic of Norwegian cinema and remade in 2019, Kari Bergstrom adapts the 1942 novel by Andre Burke about a group of friends, author Bernard, his wife Sonia, psychoanalyst Kai, magazine editor Gabriel, lawyer Harold Gran, and his fiancée Lillian, who venture into the Osterdal forest to join Lillian's brother Bjorn at his remote cabin. Lillian's suspicion that her brother is in some kind of danger are confirmed when they arrive to find his dog dead and no sign of Bjorn anywhere. Ooh. Over here we have Leptirica, 1973 Serbian film. It is in Serbian language with English subtitles. It runs 65 minutes and is in color. Based loosely on Milovan Glise's classic 1880 Serbian vampire story After 90 Years, which preceded Bram Stoker's Dracula by nearly 2 decades, George Kadijevic's adaptation is a subversive, darkly erotic take on Glisek's pastoral tale of a group of rural villagers beset by the infamous vampire Sava Savanovic, who has taken up residence in their local flour mill. Also here we have Loki's, a manuscript of Professor Wittenbach. The poster right there, creepy looking poster. I like the poster. It is a Polish film from 1970 from Janusz Majewski, 100 minutes in color. Okay, so this one, based on the 1869 Gothic novel by Prosper Mérimée, Loki's concerns a pastor and ethnographer who visits a remote corner in 19th century Lithuania where folk customs associated with the area's pagan past still have a hold on their population. Also have Penda's Ken from UK, Alan Clark, 1974, color, English, 90 minutes. I wanted to write something that grew out of the landscape, said David Rudkin about his play for today's Penda's Fen. When filmmaker Alan Clark said about adapting Rudkin's script to the screen, he confessed he wasn't quite sure what it was about, and decades after its original broadcast, it remains mysterious. An epic tale of myth and identity, whereby a sanctimonious closeted vicar's son has a spiritual and sexual awakening after being visited by a series of angels, gargoyles, and the ghosts of Edward Elgar and a long-dead pagan king. Penda's Fen is the most magical of all British folk horror films, called A Lasting Vision of Heresy and Pastoral Horror. Okay, and then over here we have Robin Redbreast from James McTaggart, 1970, UK English, 76 minutes in black and white. Veteran British chiller writer John Bowen penned this legendarily horrific episode of Play for Today from the BBC, which is now considered a precursor to The Wicker Man. Nora Palmer, Anna Copper, moves to a quiet village in England after a breakup. The locals are warm enough at first, and before long she is pregnant from a relationship with a local lad. But the sinister intentions of the locals are gradually revealed. I'll leave that as is. All right. Over here we also have Tilbury from Vidar Vikingsson, Iceland, 1987. It's 57 minutes in color in Icelandic. Based on the short story by Björnin Eljarn, this made-for-TV film mines the Icelandic lore of the Tilbury, a beast who could be summoned by women in times of financial hardship and starvation. So we've got some interesting stuff there. We also have Vi, whatever that is, from Konstantin Yursha and Georgy Kropatchev from the Soviet Union in 1967. This is 76 minutes as well, in color, in Russian. Based on the classic novella by Nikolai Gogol, a story that's been reinterpreted many times, including the Mario Bava's Black Sunday and Georgy Kajevic's Holy Place. The first horror film ever produced in the Soviet Union remains the height of Soviet fantasy cinema. In 19th century Russia, a seminary student is forced to spend 3 nights with the corpse of a beautiful young witch. Ooh, I like that poster for that one. Is it crazy? I've never seen Black Sunday before. I don't know which one I should watch first. Wilczyka from Marek Pistrak, 1983, 103 minutes in color in Polish. A domestic hit in Poland on first release. Marek Pistrak's stunning wintry werewolf film is a sexually charged folktale that doubles as a testament to Polish identity and nationalism. Set during the series of European upheavals known as the Springtime of the Peoples in 1848, during which the Austrian army invaded Poland, a cavalry officer named Caspar returns home to find his wife dying after a botched abortion from a pregnancy he had no part in. With her last breath, she confesses that she had sold her soul to the devil and will return as a she-wolf to haunt him for the rest of his days. Yeah, seems legit. All right, Witch Hammer, 1970, from Ostakar Vavra, 107 minutes, black and white in Czech. Otakar Vavra's film about 17th century witch hunter, Jindřich František Boblik. I guarantee you I said that wrong. And the horrors he visited on the small village of Velika Losiny has been called an Eastern European counterpart to Michael Reeves's Witchfinder General and Michael Armstrong's Mark of the Devil. So, got that one right there. And then, of course, if we haven't covered it yet, Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, A History of Folk Horror. This is 192 minutes, so kind of pining after that 4-hour super doc feeling we got with In Search of Darkness. It is a 2021 release in color, and it's English and Portuguese. I suppose probably some of the movies they're discussing as well. Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched explores the folk horror phenomenon from its beginning in a trilogy of films, Witchfinder General, Blood on Satan's Claws, and The Wicker Man, through its proliferation on British television in the 1970s and cultural specific manifestations in America, Asian, Australian, and European horror to the genre's revival work in the last decade. Touching over 200 films, so the watch list grows. We also have here, this is The White People. So that's that 2-disc story. It doesn't say the length of it at all, but it's on 2 discs, so I'm guessing about 2 hours to be read. So, yeah, so there's the book. Yeah, this is a lovely set. I had read somewhere it was limited edition. a limited printing, but there's no marking on this box saying it is, so I don't really know if that ended up being true or not. But an absolutely excellent set. All films I've never seen before, all films that excite me greatly. And there you have it.
So there you have it. That was All the Haunts BRs, a compendium of folk horror. Hopefully you got a chance to see what was going on inside that set and whether or not it's something you'd be interested in adding to your collection based on looking at it in my collection. I think the outside of the box is absolutely lovely looking, and there's quite a lot of interesting stuff packed into that box set. So let me know your thoughts on that, as well as if you've seen any of the movies in that set. I have yet to see any of them myself, so this is kind of a new area for me, with a lot of new films to discover and be a part of. So I'm really excited for that. Thank you guys for joining me. You can find my film reviews, over 1,000 of them, at goatfilmreviews.com. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel for Goat Film Reviews. While you're here, drop a like. It helps me out so much. You don't know how much it helps out to have likes on videos, comments on videos, subscribers to videos. Does help build the channel. So if you've enjoyed the content that you've gotten here, if you've enjoyed unboxing videos, please give me a like and let me know about the films on the list that you're most excited to check out, or if you've seen some of the folk horror on the list. I'm always curious to connect with people who've seen some of the weird stuff that I'm about to watch. As well, you can also click subscribe, and that way you'll never miss new episodes of the show as I drop them. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. You can also check out Kyle and Nick on Film on YouTube. The link's down in the description there as well. It's the sibling show to this show, where Nick Plotachuk and Nick Plotachuk from the St. Paul Filmcast and I talk about some new films and some old films, some stuff that we like to chat about. Little episodes on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So thank you guys for joining me. We'll see you at the next one.